Some believe detachment means releasing the need to control an outcome. It means living life without having expectations of others. Detachment means releasing the need to please. It means releasing the need for codependency. In other words, detachment is seen as empowering. Now, according to Healthline.com, detachment is viewed as an inability or unwillingness to connect with other people on an emotional level. Being emotionally detached is seen as a form of protection against unwanted drama, anxiety, or stress. It is believed to be the result of events that make a person unable to be open and honest about their emotions. In other words, detachment is seen as a defense mechanism. Two very different perspectives. But what they both have in common is that detachment is associated with other people and situations. In other words, it's a detachment from the external. For me, detachment means detaching from the internal, from myself, as in my physical self. For me, detachment means having a bird's eye view of my life and the choices I make. Now, this form of detachment provides yet another very different perspective, as it has absolutely nothing to do with the external. In other words, it's all about me. This form of detachment allows us to evaluate our life from a higher perspective, which then helps us to make decisions that are in alignment with who we are, separate from external circumstances. When we decide to make a conscious effort to observe what we say and what we do from a higher perspective, we will then see who we've chosen to be. From there, we can decide if who we've chosen to be is accurate. We'll know by observing how our energy feels. See, I believe our energy is our karma. In other words, how we feel is the result of our decisions. And seeing ourselves from a third-person perspective allows us to identify our own BS. It causes us to question why we do what we do. In other words, seeing ourselves from a third-person perspective is very humbling. It allows us to see the good, the bad, and the ugly side of ourselves. Detaching from ourselves in order to try and understand who we are is also a form of self-love. In other words, we love ourselves enough to make a conscious effort to get to know who we are and who we are not, so we can self-correct. Now, there are many ways in which we can detach from ourselves. One of the ways is to record our own voice verbalizing our internal thoughts. Hearing our voice assess the results of decisions we've made is powerful. Another way to detach is to keep a journal of our thoughts. Journaling is useful in helping us to understand who we are at every stage of our journey. It's also a great way to track our progress and reflect on the changes we've made as we continue to discover who we are. This platform is another way in which I'm able to detach from myself. In other words, this channel allows me to watch myself as a separate entity. Self-reflection through detachment allows us to observe our constantly changing life, as we are all going through our own personal transformations. See, I believe every lifetime, every journey is all about us. It's about our soul's desire to understand who we are with every experience we have. And I believe it can only be achieved when we detach from our physical self, allowing us to have a higher perspective of our life. In my opinion, the most powerful form of detachment is internal. I believe only through detachment from ourselves can we truly see who we are. The reason I create these videos is to document my downloads in a way that allows me to visualize the messages I receive from a place of detachment. I have a quote I'd like to share with you. This quote is by Sharon Salzberg. Detachment is not about refusing to feel, or not caring, or turning away from those you love. Detachment is profoundly honest, grounded firmly in the truth of what is. Well, this is all I have for today. Thanks so much for joining me. And if you have any questions, or you'd simply like to connect, feel free to do so through my personal email. I've listed it in the description below. Until we meet again, be safe and make sure to keep paying attention to your karma. It's our greatest teacher.